Okay, so as I was saying, today and the whole of this week, we shall be focusing on the second most important thing, and that is ascending and descending pattern. When we're talking about ascending and descending, all we're saying is before the market turns, okay, we have to observe something. I think I gave you an overview of the way the market plays or how all this plays out. And I think I walked you through from the first presentation I had. I told you that whereas last week we were talking about the up, current high and current lows, but I was very specific. People are still coming in. Sorry, I get distracted here. So anyway, I was saying we agreed that this week we shall be looking at before these current highs and maybe current lows, before we even reach the current high, okay, we shall be looking for something. We shall be looking for a pattern over there. And similarly, before a current low or a low, we shall be looking for a pattern over there. Okay? So normally we say that okay. All right. Oh, people are still stuck outside. All right. Some people are still stuck outside. I don't know what's going on. I think my system is okay. All right. Ascending and descending pattern. Like we had said before, that when the market moves, the market we always get candles that are moving. They're moving up, or rather, I'm showing you like the impulses, the way we draw them, not the candles themselves, but the impulses go something like that. And for as long as the market is going like that, we can say that it has momentum, okay? But if the market goes, and now the candles are actually getting smaller and smaller, I mean shorter, not smaller and smaller, shorter, then we can say that there's pressure from up, okay? And we also say that they're losing momentum. That is the word we use, losing momentum. Now, it's very important for us to understand this concept because this will be repeated over and over and over and over. So sometimes we illustrate these movements, okay, like this, okay, and so on. This is there. But when it starts losing momentum, then it goes, comes back, and then goes, not as high this time, comes back, moves up, not as high, comes back. Drawing this thing is very difficult. Comes back. So that if you were to draw straight lines, you'll find that whenever it reaches up, the market tries to come back again. Okay. If we were to draw where it has reached, it has gone up, and it's coming back, and so on and so on. This coming back is pressure from the top. Okay. Hence, we can say the market was losing momentum, the momentum for going up. All right. we say the market's losing momentum. If we were to draw it in another way, it would be something like that. Okay, like a parallel line. And if you've studied chart patterns for a while, whenever you see like a parallel line being formed like that, it means the market is turning, ready to go down. Okay, so it loses momentum of going up, loses momentum of going up, it's losing momentum of going up, loses momentum going up, and then eventually it turns. But the funny thing is, as it turns, okay, the next part we shall be going into will be it turns, but it comes to test. It turns and completely turns, you know, this is like the current low. It goes through it. Okay, let me see if I can do something here. All right. Okay, who is logged in on iPhone again? Can you kindly give us your name? iPhone. So whoever's logged in as iPhone, please give us your name. We're keeping track of people who come into the class. All right. So as I was saying, when this market comes back down near the current low, okay, it actually breaks it, comes back to retest it. And if it's a true break, it will now be the beginning of the trend that we were looking for. So there's some interesting steps here that have taken place. First, this market was losing momentum. It's a signal for you. You know, it's an indicator that, not indicator, but it's like a red sign, or, you know, like, hey, what's up? You know, pay attention. We are losing momentum. So all along the market was fine. And this is a current high. And this is a current low. When the market goes and loses momentum like that, starts losing momentum, you know that the market is now turning, going in the opposite direction. But that turn is not confirmed until it breaks this current low. Please understand the narrative. The market, the turning of the market, because here it was going up. Okay, and there's even a current high somewhere it formed. Okay, so the market was going up and it starts losing momentum. If you see the market was going up, and then it starts losing momentum, then be ready because something is about to happen. If you look at this, it forms like a channel like that. See, if it wasn't losing momentum, it would have gone like this. It would have gone straight. But as it was going up and down, it starts losing momentum. So that if you look at this, their highs are getting weaker. They're not going like this one's up, higher. No, now they're getting weaker and coming back under that, if you're to draw an impulse, under that line, okay? And then if that goes there, then it goes under that line. So when you see this pattern, see that pattern, it means that the market has lost momentum or is losing momentum and it's starting to change the direction to the other side. And we only say it is change direction once it breaks the current low, breaks this current low. So that's number one, what to look for. Number two, we shall get to those details later of number two, okay? It breaks this low and then comes back and retests. It retests and then it goes. That's the sequence of events. Simple, not complicated, okay? Now, if we were doing the other way around, if the market was going up, sorry, the opposite direction, let me see if I can erase this. We would probably have the same thing. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oops. Now, I want to do the same thing, but now in the opposite direction. Okay. So if the market was coming maybe from this way, okay, please note the pattern down there. Okay, and then assuming that it does that and then decides it's gonna go now on this direction. Okay, forgive my drawing, it's not perfect, but the point here is we're trying to illustrate this channel that is formed there. So as you can see, this market was playing around. This is our current high. This is our current low. Okay, current high, current low. So as you can see, this here is no longer going the normal way, no longer going up and down the normal way, especially from here. Okay, from here, it is losing momentum. From here, it's losing momentum. Okay, if it's losing momentum, that is why it is not going like this. It's not going. Oops. My drawing is very bad today, like that. Yeah. Instead, it seems to be bending a little bit. Okay. Actually, it should have been something like this. And then bending. So the bending part is the part we are saying that the market is losing momentum. If it's losing momentum, it means that the market is about to change direction. So, oops. So the market is coming like that. Okay. And then it turns and goes in that direction. This bending here is what we're calling loss of momentum. And it's also the descending pattern. Descending. Okay, descending. It's spelling of descending. Descending pattern. Oops. Sorry, I'm not writing properly. Descending pattern. So why is that? This, if you look at the candle themselves, which we shall look at a while, you'll find that these candles come, then it moves back up. If you're to draw a straight line, you'll find that every candle that went down actually went back to the previous impulse. Okay, so like that, and then finally it turns around. Okay. So again, what's the important thing there that to look out for? We are looking out for this pattern, for the pattern. And once we have the pattern, we okay. All right, so once we have this pattern, it turns around and breaks the current high. Now, that break is significant. The type of break that we'll have there is significant. So it will break, come back and retest it, and then it goes. So in both cases, the breaks are significant. What do we mean? We mean that we can either have a large break. Okay. What is a large break? Without a wick. Okay. 0 wick. So we'll find that that is a break where if this is the line there, the part of the candle that is above that line is bigger than the part of the candle that is below the line. So like here, we can say that this is a large break. Okay, that's a large break. Why? Because the part that is above the candle, above this line, is bigger than the part below it. So usually the condition, again, we'll come to that, the details later, but when you see a large break, then your entry normally will be plus 2 pips extra. So if this was the entry, if the entry was X, 1 point, maybe 3, 2, 1, 0, then we actually add plus 2 pips there. So our entry will be 1.3212. Why? Because we had a large break there. All right, and that applies to both this bottom case down here and that case over there. Now, the other option is a medium break. Medium break is a break medium. Okay, this time is not large, but again, it can be about average and usually with a wick. Oh, sorry, with a wick, but the wick has to be smaller than the body. Okay, so this is a wick, but the wick is smaller than the body. Okay, this doesn't have to be exact, but usually about the same. Okay, but what is very, very important here that is very distinct is the wick needs to be smaller than this body here. Okay, so this is a medium break with a wick, something like that. So for that, when it breaks like that, we actually enter it at that number. We don't add anything else. So if the number was maybe 1.4531, that's what we enter as our entry. We don't add anything. And then the last one is a small break. A small break with a small wick. Okay, the wick. Okay, this is a small wick. The difference between these two and this one, okay, especially these two, the medium and the small, is this one, when it breaks, it's very tiny, very tiny. Can even be something like that. Okay, so it's almost like the medium break, only the big part of the break is still under that line. Okay, so I've just thrown in like 3 or 4 concepts all at once, and I'm sure you're probably confused now. So what I will do is I will erase it again, and then I will go through it again properly. But this time, before I get to the chart, let me see how much time do we have. Yes, I can actually go to the chart right now and then give you a chance to ask questions. Or you know what? Maybe we can start asking questions now. So as I maybe erase it and go to the charts, you can start asking questions now. Okay. I'm going to see if I can open up the chart we had last time. Ken, can you help me with it was what, AUD, USD? Remember? And then July 12th, right? Can somebody remember where we were? This is 1 minute. In the meantime, questions while I'm looking for this, July 12th.
Coach, maybe a question.
Yes.
For the small break, at what point does one make the entry?
At what? Oh, okay. For the small break, usually we need, you see, if there, okay, I have to explain back on the chart. Okay, let me just draw this here. Maybe that can be fine. So in all the breaks, okay, so there's a big break. So the big break, we say that we enter 2 pips above. Okay, so if this was the, okay, so plus 2 pips, that's our entry. But all the others, we enter where the market has been broken. So like in this case, well, this looks like a small one. Let me make it a little bigger one. So you enter, let's pretend that this is where the market has been broken. Okay, and the number maybe like is, let's take this one just for the sake of argument. So this is the number. So then this number is where we enter, both on the medium break and the small break. The small break would be very, very tiny. Okay. Now, later, there will be something that we call rejection. If this candle did not break, for example, it came and it went through, broke, and then it came back in and closed under there. So then what we do is, yes, it is a break. We accept it's a break, But then we wait for the next candle to make sure that the next candle actually closes that gap here, the gap between that and that line over there, sorry, and that line. So as far as this is concerned, the breaks for the small and medium are on that particular line. The only one where we add 2 pips above the line is on the large break, the big break. Okay, large break. So because it was very, very, very large, we now set 2 pips above this number here. And that is where we put our entry point. So when the market comes back, we'll tag you in, and then it will continue. But for these two, it has to come and tag in right there. It has to come and tag in right there. So that is, again, just a graphical illustration. I was hoping I can get to the charts. Was it July 12th? July 12th.
Yes, July 12th to July 16th.
Okay. So I'm trying to get back there so that we can see whether we can use that chart to. Okay, in the meantime, any questions? So usually, if I don't see questions, it means people are confused, people are lost, people just don't know what to do. Right? Well, the idea was not to lose you, but we also told you, we gave you a heads up that this is not going to be a walk in the park. It looks very, very, very simple, but then there's some basic things we have to keep up to. I'm going to move this to 12. Let me see.
Question, Coach.
You have a question?
Yes, this is Isaac.
Isaac, yes, Isaac.
What happens, or what does the very long wicks signify? And do they have any? Do they give you any indicator for anything?
Yes, and I think that must be a common question now. The long wicks, especially if they appear at the top and at the bottom, they signify either the beginning or a range, not beginning, but they signify there's a range that has been formed. And you all remember a range from your previous class. The range is actually an indicator of what we call, well, we're calling it now a red zone. But when we have a red zone, it means that it is not a good place to actually take trades. So for example, if we look at this one here, well, here it's only one side. It's only one side, which is fine. But if you were to see another long candle there, and then, I mean, another long wick over there, another long wick there, and then there's one there, and then down there, like this. The fact that we have maybe 4, maybe one there, and this one, and then another one there, and then another long one. So 2 on top and 2 below, that signifies maybe the market is in a range. And when the market is ranging for this strategy, then we sit on the sidelines. Yes, we don't enter any trades. Okay. All right. We have 6 minutes.
Then another query.
Yes.
With this strategy,
Yeah.
do you still, I mean, since it is a long-term strategy, what mitigates the trading news and those spikes that you get in the trading news.
Okay. At this point, we don't really care about the trading news once you're ready, or if we are in the trade. If we are in the trade, we don't really care about the trading news. If we are not in the trade, and let's say like there's a FOMC or NFP, okay, those are, for those who don't know, those are the big news in Forex. If we know the trade, I mean, the news is supposed to happen at maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and we have not taken the trade, sometimes it is prudent to not take the trade. Okay, even though we say rules are rules and all that stuff, it is just prudent not to take the trade, because if you take the trade, the news might distort the reality of the market. Hence, your patterns, chart patterns, or the candles might not give you a true indication of what is going on. So if you're already in the trade, that is fine. But if you are not in the trade yet, then it is prudent maybe to wait, to sit on your hands until the trade is over. I mean, until the news is over. Okay. So I wanted to see if I can find some patterns here where we can, yeah. In the meantime, questions. Remember, you learn more when you ask questions. So we have 4 minutes. Okay, so let me see if I can find, oh, shoot. I was supposed to start marking up and down. Okay. All right, this is bad habit. I was supposed to have marked before I started clicking. So I'll pretend that this is the current low, current high, a few days before this. Any questions? We have 3 minutes. Usually, by the way, if you ask questions, then it gives us an indication that, yes, we can continue, I can log in again and have more time. But if we don't ask any questions, then it's an indicator that even if I log in for the second time, I don't know if it'll be of any use, because I don't know if you're understanding or not. Okay.
Yes, coach, this is Kevin Aaron.
Yes, Kevin.
Yeah, I was trying to do the assignment using the metaphor, but I had just my cellular phone. I don't know, which platform are you using to manipulate all this?
Okay, first, avoid using the phone. It's a bit challenging. It's very challenging to use the phone to actually mark the current highs and current lows. Now, does it mean it's impossible? No, it's not impossible. It's just very, very difficult. Unless you know how to manipulate, put your mark on the phone, I would discourage that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Use your laptop, computer, or maybe an iPad to mark the current lows and current highs. Because, think about it. We are having challenges just trying to figure out where some of these current highs, current lows are when we are using the computer. So how much more worse can it be when you're using a laptop? A phone. Okay. So we have 1 minute remaining. Should I log in? Should we log in and have more Q&A?
Yes, coach.
Yes.
Go.
Okay, all right. So you can just log out. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop the share and re-log in again.